as Jesus would? How can I be that in touch with the human experience? Well, the church would like to give you an answer, but it can't. And I have no answer whatsoever. However, we are facing the Holy Week experience of Jesus. The experience where Jesus immersed himself into the depths of the human experience. It seems impossible for me to go from Palm Sunday to Easter without going through Holy Week. You see, I grew up in a religious tradition where we went from Palm Sunday to Easter with nothing in between. And it left me feeling empty and cold, so arid and light and disconnected from the reality of my own human experience. You see, the Holy Trinity takes us into the depths of the darkness of the experience of Jesus' humanity. We start on Wednesday with the Tenebrae service, the service of darkness. We read the story, we chant the psalms, and we extinguish the lights, one by one, by one, by one. And we find ourselves sitting in the dark, much as we experience in our own life sometimes despair. Sometimes it seems like there's no light. Sometimes it seems like there is no hope. And there we sit, in the darkness. And then we move to Maundy Thursday. Maundy, Mandatum, the mandate. And what did Jesus mandate for us to do? To love one another. And so we will, with Jesus, share his Last Supper that he gives us in order to love one another. And how are we called to love one another? We wash the disciples' feet. And so those that you would like to, on Maundy, Thursday will come and your feet will be washed as the disciples' feet were washed. And then, silence. And the altar is stripped. And all is taken away. And we leave in silence. Jesus has died. And we turn and walk away. Then comes Good Friday. And we walk at noon and pray in the stations. And end in the death of Jesus. And then we come on Good Friday evening. We chant the prayers, and we remind ourselves there is no Eucharist. Jesus is not present. Jesus is dead. And we sit with nothing to do. And then comes Holy Saturday. It is so cold. So cold with the absence of God. And then comes the Easter Vigil. The Easter Vigil begins in the dark. The empty tomb. Jesus has descended to the dead. And there we sit. And we hear the story. We hear the story read to us. From the beginning to the end. And then, here is a moment. We're underwater in the darkness and in the death. And then in that moment, we burst forth in baptism into new life. The incense is glowing and the lights are burning and we are holding candles and the bells are rung as three young adults take us to the depths of death, through the waters, into the light. And we experience resurrection. Jesus is raised from the dead, and so are we in our baptism into new life. And we celebrate the first service of Easter in the Easter Vigil. Without the human experience of Jesus, without the human experience of Jesus' own doubt in the Garden of Gethsemane. Father, if there is another way, if there is another way, without the betrayal of his friends, I do not know him. Without the despair of the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me? Without the death on the cross, without the doubt, without the despair, without the betrayal, without the questions and the loneliness, without those, there is no resurrection. There is no new life. On Ash Wednesday, the church made this invitation to you. We invite you, therefore, in the name of the church, to the observance of Holy Lent. But without Holy Week, without going from Palm Sunday to Maundy, Thursday, to Good Friday, to Holy Saturday, without that, then Lent is nothing more than self-reflective asceticism. Nothing more. I invite you, therefore, to join me to go from Palm Sunday to Tenebrae, to Maundy, Thursday, to Good Friday, to the Easter Vigil. I invite you because I cannot dare to face my questions alone.